Hey everyone, it's Arlo here. Today on Animal Fact Friday, we are covering one of my favorite animals, the snow leopard. Let's start with their behavior and diet. We'll talk about the behavior part first. Snow leopards are nomadic, solitary creatures. They live alone, traversing massive home ranges. They generally don't aggressively defend these territories from one another. Instead, they mark their expansive paths using scents, scraps, and claw marks to communicate their presence. Snow leopards are opportunistic, solitary ambush predators. They use their fur to camouflage in the rocky terrains as they hunt. Despite being an apex predator, they are incredibly timid and non-aggressive. This doesn't mean they won't attack, however. There have been a few snow leopard attacks on humans. It is extremely rare for a snow leopard to attack a human, though. The only time a snow leopard will attack a human is if provoked, they feel cornered, you mess with their cubs, or they are suffering from starvation or illness. Now that we got the behavior portion out of the way, let's go on to the diet portion. They take down prey up to 3 times their body weight. They primarily hunt blue sheep, argali, and Siberian ibex. Their secondary prey includes marmots, pikas, hares, small rodents, and birds. A leopard typically kills one large prey animal every 10 to 15 days. Snow leopards eat slowly. A single large blue sheep or ibex can sustain a solitary cat for about a week. That is all for our behavior and diet section. Now we move on to the mating portion of today's video. Snow leopards only gather together in groups for mating season. Mating season is January to mid-March. Snow leopards engage in intense whirlwind courtship that lasts about 2 to 8 days. The pair will copulate frequently during this time, often between 12 and 36 times a day, with each mating session lasting about 30 to 60 seconds. Like many felines, female snow leopards are induced ovulators, meaning the physical act of mating triggers the release of an egg, ensuring a high chance of successful conception. Together, the pair can mate upwards of 4 to 6 times in a single hour. Snow leopards only mate every other year. A single male may only have the opportunity to mate 5 to 6 times in his entire lifetime. During the mating process, the male bites the female on the nape of the neck to make sure she stays submissive. Male snow leopards will growl during mating to show dominance. That will be all for the mating portion of this video. Now we'll be moving on to the cub portion of this video. Snow leopard cubs stay with their mothers 18 to 22 months, or roughly 1.5 years to 1 year 10 months, usually closer to 2 years. A snow leopard's litter size is 2 to 3 per litter. Well, that's all for the cub portion of this video. Next, we'll be moving on to their habitats. The snow leopard species habitat spans about 2.8 million square kilometers across 12 countries, including China. China holds about 60% of snow leopard habitats. They live in high elevated rocky terrains that have snow in the winter that are cold. Well, that's all for the habitat portion of this video. Next will be the population portion of this video. Exact numbers of snow leopards are difficult to track because of their stealthy nature and remote terrain. Scientists estimate there are between 3,920 and 7,500 snow leopards remaining in the wild. There are roughly 600 to 700 snow leopards living in accredited zoos and conservation facilities worldwide. Snow leopards have went from an endangered to a vulnerable species. However, they are still at risk of extinction. Well, that's all for the population portion of this video. Next, we move on to the vocalization portion of this video. Unlike other big cats, snow leopards lack the anatomical structures in their throats that allow them to roar. Instead of roaring, the snow leopard have many other vocalizations, like a non-aggressive sound called a chuff, which sounds like this. Other vocalization are hissing, wails, meows, growls, and purrs. Well, that's all for the vocalization portion of this video. Next, we move on to the other facts portion. The snow leopard is nicknamed the ghost of the mountains. They are also called ghost cats. Snow leopards have tails up to 3 feet or 1 meter long. They use their tails for balance and as blankets to stay warm. The snow leopard's wide paws act as snowshoes. The snow leopards have enlarged nasal cavities. These nasal cavities act as a natural radiator, warming the air they breathe to a safe temperature before it hits their lungs. Snow leopards have the thickest fur of any big cat, measuring up to 5 inches long on their bellies to retain heat. The snow leopard can leap up to 50 feet in a single bound. There is no official group name for the snow leopard. There are a few unofficial group names like a leap, a flurry, a ghost, and a coincidence. However, I nominate a blizzard as the official group name. Unlike the snow leopard's name suggests, it's actually more closely related to the tiger. The snow leopard is only called the leopard because of its spotted coat. They are only distantly related to true leopards, jaguars, and lions. The spots on a snow leopard's coat is called rosettes. A snow leopard can travel over 25 miles in a single night. That will be all for the other facts portion of this video. Well, that will be all for this Animal Fact Friday. I'll see you all in the next video. Arlo out.